What is up, guys? We are back, and we have something pretty cool. We have the Full Metal Alchemist set for me, in my personal opinion, or not my personal opinion, but in my personal collection. These are probably going to be the ones that I mainly want to get, but we are going to definitely, if they come out with more, which, like I said in the last video, hopefully they do. I'd like to see the other homunculus and some of the other badass characters that are in Full Metal Alchemist. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out, because it's a fucking badass anime. But we will go ahead and start with the homunculus. We have King Bradley, the Hot Topic exclusive. Pretty cool pop. Basic, but that's kind of how his character is. He's not like really this over dramatic character. He's just like straight to the point, like wants to fuck shit up. He's probably, other than Greed, because Greed's the GOAT, he's probably my second favorite homunculus, just as a badass character and a badass villain. But as you can see, he's got his mustache, just rocking it with his eye patch and his sword. But other than that, he's just in his military uniform. Pretty cool. The chase is could have been a lot better, but it's just him without his eye patch, and his homunculus tattoo is on his eyeball. So that's kind of whatever, but I would have liked to seen the fight that he had with Greed and his crew before Greed got his mind wiped, when he had his shirt off and he was running through, or his like top half off, and he was running through the sewers, and he took off his eye patch. That would have been fucking badass to see. We also have Lust. She is the other homunculus that we have, but I don't want to go into too much detail with her because I did her in the last video, so I don't want to waste time just going over her again. But if you want to see more on her, go ahead and go to the last video. But pretty cool. You can see through the packaging that she has her long, like, dagger nails and the homunculus tattoo above her chest. So that's pretty cool. Badass pop. And I feel like Hot Topic got a lot of exclusives from fucking Full Metal Alchemist. So we will go ahead and go to Winry, Rockbell. This is kind of the love interest of Edward, and her and him do end up getting married at the end. I'm not really worried about spoilers, because if you haven't watched it, what are you doing? If you haven't watched it, you should go watch it, but I'm sure that everybody who's into anime has seen it. So we do have Winry, and that is a super cool pop. It's basic, but, you know, it's her in her kind of crop top and her flip-flops, and she has her wrench to work on Edward's hand and her bandana, or Edward's hand, his arm and leg. But she also does have her earrings in her ears, which is a pretty cool detail. And she does have, like, little gloves on, like mechanic gloves. So that's pretty cool too. But all around, just a pretty cool pop. And I'm glad that they made her, because she wasn't like this like badass character. Like, she was cool because she, like, to me, she was cool because she gave Edward, just like, you know, Alphonse gave Edward the reason to kind of fight and try to get their bodies back and stuff like that. So super cool pop. I'm glad that I was able to pick him up, or her up. Why did I say him? I need to go to bed. But I'm super glad that they made her with all the other ones. Before we do the two main men of the show, we're going to go ahead and do two of my other favorite characters, one being my favorite character in the whole anime. This one is a badass character, but not necessarily my favorite. He is a badass character, and I really like his character. But we got Alex Armstrong, the GameStop exclusive. He is probably, I think, the most expensive one out of all of them. But it is him, and as you can see on the box, he has like a glitter effect around his face, right? So you think, okay, just in the anime he sparkles. Well, the pop does too, and hopefully we will be able to pick that up. But you can kind of see, if you look at his biceps and everything, and his head, there's the back of his head, you can kind of see that reflective like glitter on his face, which is pretty cool. I really enjoy that, and he has his kind of knuckle, his like brass knuckle type things, I don't know what you'd call that, but he has a massive pop, and he has a fat dome, but he has the little curly Q on top of his head and everything, and just look at that menacing look. You can kind of see the glitter there for sure, but just that menacing mustache and that menacing curly Q on the top of his head. But super cool pop. I'm glad they made him. Alex Armstrong is a badass character, and especially when he fought fought Sloth, that was a fucking badass fight. So super badass character. I'm glad they made him like this, and I'm glad they made him a bigger pop than all the other ones. They made him massive, and they definitely did his muscles justice. And just a voice actor, Christopher Sabat being his voice actor, perfect choice. But we also have my favorite character, and that is and I mean the Roy Mustang. Super badass pop. So glad that they made him. This was the first Fullmetal Alchemist pop that I picked up, just because I found him in Culture Shock, and I really enjoy his character. I think he's a badass. He was Captain Levi in another universe. Just ruthless. And when what happened to his friend Hughes, it was just like his whole thing, like the revenge story was just, and the way he got his revenge was so badass. So super sick. We have him with his hand in his pocket, and he is snapping to create the fire, and super badass that they added this little detail. It's actually his transmutation circle on his glove, so that is super sick. And he does have his little trench coat flowing in the back off of his shoulders, so that is sick as well. Super glad that they made this pop. I'm super glad that I watched the show, because he is hands down one of my favorite characters in anime. He's actually going to be on my anime sleeve, so that'll be sick, and hopefully I'll be able to show y'all that. But his hair mold and everything, it's just perfect. So I'm super excited to have him in the collection, and that they made a pop of him. So we will go ahead and get to the main guys of this story. And if you haven't watched Fullmetal Alchemist, it's about two brothers that pretty much commit a taboo in the alchemy world, and they try to bring their mother back to life. Super, emotional anime, I will admit. I'm not gonna cap, I cried watching this anime in some parts, because it's just a real emotional anime. If you haven't watched it, watch it, and it's really good. We'll go ahead and go with Alphonse, Elric. Super badass, absolute unit of a pop, just like Alex Armstrong. I believe Alphonse is heavier, but he is just an absolute unit. He has like the weight of like 2 pops, just in this one. So he does have a badass pop. just the metallic armor and everything. His eyes have that red ring around it. He has kind of an uwu face, which actually in the Cats one, so those are the only ones that I don't have, is the Chase for King Bradley and the Alphonse with kittens, which I might get the Alphonse with kittens just because it's kind of cool and he has the uwu face. And that's kind of a meme in my friend group. But super cool pop. I loved his character. Kind of got annoying at some points, but I like his character. But you can see he has the serpent and wings on his arm. I don't really remember what that symbol meant, but all around a badass pop. Really well detailed with all the spikes and everything. So I'm glad that I have him in the collection, and definitely glad that they decided to make these pops, because like I said, I didn't watch this until recently, and I'm glad that I did, and I was able to pick up the pops for a good and decent price. And last but certainly not least, we have the main man, the eldest brother, Edward Elric. And this one is super sick. I like the pose that he's in. I like the details of it. I have opened him before, and just super excited to have this pop, because he is a pretty cool character, and you know, he's just badass. But there he is out of the package. You can see he has his metal arm with his sword that he makes around it, and he also has the kind of like alchemy electricity around his hands, so that is super sick too. He does have his famous little alpha hair and his bangs, and then on the back he does have his ponytail or braid, and also cool detail, he does have the same symbol as Alphonse has on his armor on his cloak, so that is super cool as well. But all around badass pop. All these pops are badass, and I'm so glad. You can even see right there, you can see his pocket watch going from his belt loop into his pocket. But all around, dude, I'm so excited to have these pops. So excited that I stopped and, you know, actually watched the anime, because I'm very excited that I did, and I'm very glad that I did, because it is definitely an anime that is definitely, it's a different anime. It's not like every other anime. It's not like, oh, there's this, you know, super strong character. This anime is different, and there's none other like it. So I'm super excited that I watched it, and now I have the pops from it. But if you guys like this video, leave a comment on what other animes maybe I should watch and check out that y'all haven't heard me talk about, and let me know, you know, what other pops I should do reviews of. I mainly collect Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, I have Fire Force, Bleach, Attack on Titan, and Naruto, and also Tokyo Ghoul. I have one Tokyo Ghoul pop, but hopefully here in another video, we will be able to get some Tokyo Ghoul pops and add them to the collection. But anyways, guys, I hope y'all like this video, and leave a comment, leave a like, and see you guys on the next one. Peace.